I was with Ethan Kingsley for 8 years. 6 months and 25 days. We broke up. The reason was that he had left his cell phone upside down on the table during dinner with me. The buzzing vibration was like a countdown to the end of our relationship. I put down my knife and fork. Ethan Kingsley. Let's break up. Sitting across from me. He looked relieved. Without even a token question as to why. He said, "Okay." He didn't have to pretend anymore. It's just that in high school, in front of all the teachers and students, he said, "Sophia, I will never break up with you." So he's waiting for me to say it. It took him less than 10 minutes to pack. It's as if he'd already decided in his mind what to take and what not to take. Just like our relationship. It's been a problem for a long time. But he's still caring for me because of that vow to be a devoted boyfriend. But what the body can do, the heart can't. When he turns on his cell phone, the corners of his mouth curl up unconsciously. When buying Always pads with me, he subconsciously recommended another brand, saying that it's less likely to leak. I even started to be interested in cooking. Unfortunately, it's not my favorite food. I watched him go from loving me to being in love with me. Little by little, he was breaking away from the relationship. Finally, when he even forgot the anniversary of my mother's death, I said it was over. And he agreed so quickly I thought I was hallucinating. Less than an hour after the breakup, a friend sent me the official announcement video of him and his new girlfriend. My hands tightened around my cell phone. It's her. It's her. The new intern at the company. Vivian Zhou. Who used to follow me around and call me Sophia. Sophia. I don't understand this report. Can you teach me? Sophia. Don't worry about traveling. They'll take care of the cat. Sophia. Don't worry. Your boyfriend is just hospitalized for a few days with a stomachache. He's not that delicate. They'll bring him food, right? I looked at the cold in front of me, the surface of the thick layer of oil stains on the rice. A wave of nausea surged through my heart. I rushed to the bathroom and vomited. Disgusting. It was disgusting. I took 3 days off from work. I threw up after Ethan Kingsley left that day. At first I thought it was a physical reaction to being betrayed by both my boyfriend and my friend. But then, even as I was cleaning up the dishes, I smelled fish and threw up again. With a bad feeling, I went downstairs to buy a first response pregnancy test. The 2 bars were so blinding. They made me black out. Funny. It was only half a month ago. Ethan Kingsley had been dragging me to bed all night. He said, "Sophia, why don't we have a baby? We didn't use birth control that time." What the hell? What a coincidence. I closed my eyes. It took me 3 days to come to grips with the fact that Ethan Kingsley had left me. Ethan Kingsley had left me. I put my hand on my stomach. I'm sorry. You weren't expected. You weren't meant to be here. My friend said we were having dinner today and asked if I wanted to go. After 3 days at home, the negativity almost suffocated me. I thought it would be good to go out. But I didn't realize. At the party, he brought his new girlfriend and hit me in the face. Sophia. I'm done with you. Vivi is different from you. She's simple and thin-skinned. Don't bully her with your business practices. I put the glass in my hand on the table. It's really no fun at all. When Ethan Kingsley said those 2 words, there was silence. All my friends looked at me with embarrassed faces. I looked up at Ethan Kingsley as if I'd never met the man I'd been with for 8 years. When I looked at him, Vivian Zhou shivered like a white rabbit and hid behind him. Ethan Kingsley then frowned and protected her. Sophia. This isn't a company. Don't use that newbie bullying tactic on her. Heh. I laughed. Putting down my glass, I picked up my jacket from the back chair. I've already bought the check. So have a good time. I'll leave first. As I passed by, I saw Ethan Kingsley give me a complicated look. My cell phone rang while I waited for the car at the door. Sophia, you're a sensible person. I hope this doesn't affect Viv's work. Don't take it personally at work. When I saw my car approaching, I put away my cell phone without expression. Vivian Zhou is the new intern at the company. Fresh graduates are always careful and make mistakes. So I was a bit strict with her. But sometimes it hurt me to see her crying in the corner alone, thinking she was like myself when I first entered the society. So I took her with me on a daily basis. Sometimes when I don't have the right clothes for a client, I don't hesitate to pay the bill. I even brought Vivian Zhou with me when I went out with Ethan Kingsley, just so she could have a good meal. But when did she and Ethan Kingsley become different under my watch? It was when Ethan Kingsley was sick and I was on a business trip and asked her to bring me cold medicine. Or the times when Ethan Kingsley was hospitalized with a stomach ache and I was working on a big order, and she volunteered to help me deliver Ethan Kingsley's nutritious meals to the hospital every day. I didn't even realize it. I just thought that the tacit understanding between Ethan Kingsley and Vivian Zhou was just because they shared the same preferences. But it didn't matter. After a restless night's sleep at home, the bell rang for work. That's how it is in the adult world. There's only so much time you can take to calm down, even if the world is falling apart. After 3 days off, I have to work today even if it's a long day. I look at myself in the mirror. There's a heavy layer of black under my eyelids. But I had dressed up for the promotion party. Director left a month ago and recommended me to VP before she left. Yesterday, the appraisal period was over. And I think VP was saying that he would announce my appointment as director today. This has been rumored in the group yesterday. And some people have even asked me to treat them. We agreed to go to the new Netflix restaurant for dinner. My treat. But when I came into the office, everyone looked at me in a strange way. When I looked at them, they avoided my gaze. I frowned. As soon as I sat down, Vivian Zhou entered the office wearing a couture suit. She was followed by 2 men with a handful of coffee. She clapped her hands with vigor. It's been a hard time for you all. Don't leave after work today. It's my treat. After that, the 2 coworkers handed out the coffee to their colleagues. After the coffee was distributed, everyone had it. It just so happened that mine was left behind. I knew what was going on. Vivian Zhou apologized as if she had just seen me. Oh, Sophia is here too. Sorry I didn't buy your coffee because I thought you weren't here today. She took a few steps closer and handed over the coffee in her hand. I haven't had this cup yet. Sophia, if you don't mind, please have this one. Seeing that I didn't take it, she shoved the coffee into my hand. But when the coffee touched my fingers, she let go of my hand. She let go. With a bang, a cup of coffee exploded all over the floor. Sophia, what are you doing? Before I could say anything, I was shoved. The man protects Vivian Zhou and takes a few steps back, his eyes full of concern. How is it? Are you burned? Oops. Manager Zhou is hurt, a colleague exclaimed. As Ethan Kingsley subconsciously looked toward my hand, Vivian Zhou gently tugged at the corner of Ethan Kingsley's shirt. Her wet eyes filled with tears, as if they were about to fall down next. I'm fine. Don't blame Sophia. She didn't mean it. Don't blame her. She didn't mean it. Ethan Kingsley withdrew his gaze and touched Vivian Zhou's head. You are the one who is kind-hearted. You will suffer in the future. Vivian Zhou looked at Ethan Kingsley with a smile on her face and spat out her tongue. The two of them got further and further away from each other. I watched them quietly. It turns out that love can really change. A few days ago, Ethan Kingsley was so caring to me. In the blink of an eye, he can transfer the same love to another person. At the end of the day, I sat in the VP's office. I've been with the company for 7 years, and am a dedicated employee. The company has grown from a small startup with only 3 to 5 people to the present. Every step has my shadow. In my opinion, the position of director is well deserved. VP held his forehead helplessly. I know. You're a credit to the company. But you know what? He paused for a moment and said, you know, Kingsley Tech is a great company. You know, Kingsley Tech gave us a big order that will save us 5 years. Sophia, I can't help you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I look down. I see. But my hand on my leg can't help but tremble. I know it's hard for VP too. In order to avoid losing control of my emotions here, I nodded my head and left the office. It was already closing time, and my coworkers were leaving the office one by one. I sat in the restroom stall and finally broke down. If Ethan Kingsley's precipitous breakup was anything to go by, I was able to keep my cool on the outside. But the fact that Vivian Zhou was given the position of director, and that Ethan Kingsley used his power to force her out of the position, really broke my heart. He knows how long I've worked for this position. Almost a month of sleepless nights. But when it came down to it, Ethan Kingsley stabbed me in the back. Do you think the manager's going to be there when Director Cho invites him to dinner today? I don't know. If not, well, be in for a treat. Yeah. It's sad to say. What to sigh. When she was Air girlfriend, the company naturally hold. Now Air tired of her. Director's seat naturally have to let out. Outside, the two wash their hands while gossiping. What? Tired of it? You still don't know? Director Zhou said it was Air who said holding her was like holding your right hand in yours. Wouldn't it be better to use your own hand to sleep with her? Ha 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 ha. With a clang, the door to the cubicle was pulled open by me. The two of them turned their heads and saw me. Their faces turned white. Mr. She. Mr. She? I went to the sink and washed my hands slowly. What's the matter? Do you also want to try young Master Quan's hands? The two of them shoved and ran away. Their footsteps drifting away. Chuckle. What are you so proud of? I took out a cigarette and lit it up. The smoke dissipated in front of me. Heh. Ethan Kingsley is still the same Ethan Kingsley. When you like someone, you spoil them. The day before, he told me not to embarrass Vivian Zhou because of her status. But in the blink of an eye, he's using his power over me. And this society. It's so fucked up. When I came out of the office, a luxury car was parked in front of the entrance. I know this car very well. It's Ethan Kingsley's car. When he saw me coming out of the office, he pulled out his cigarettes and leaned against the door, waving at me. I paused for a moment, but I walked over to him. I realized that Vivian Zhou was sitting in his car. Vivian Zhou was sitting in the passenger seat. That used to be, only belonged to me. How many times in the past? She stood where I am now, looking enviously at me sitting in the passenger seat, saying, Sophia, your boyfriend is so nice to you. Sophia, you have to be careful of the current goblins. Don't let them steal your boyfriend. Don't worry. I will help you watch. Once I saw Ethan Kingsley's car downstairs when I got off work. I thought he was coming to pick me up. But I didn't realize that Vivian Zhou rushed past me like the wind. and naturally opened the passenger door and was about to sit in it. I couldn't help but call out Vivian Zhou's name. She stiffened for a moment, then naturally closed the door and said, "I thought you were in the car," she said, taking my hand. She took my hand and said she thought I was in the car and wanted to have dinner with me after work. Ethan Kingsley's face was very natural at the time. The discomfort and suspicion soon dissipated. In retrospect, I was not only stupid. I was stupid and I didn't even know it. When she saw me coming, Vivian Zhou smiled and nodded. "Sophia." I looked at the passenger side. The seat covers have been changed. The original gray is now pink, and a small pillow has been added to the passenger seat. Even the peace sign I'd been begging Ethan Kingsley for on the passenger side was gone, replaced by a pair of ceramic white swans with their necks crossed. The center console is also covered with stickers of Ethan Kingsley and Vivian Zhou. There is a small line of text on the side of the stickers. "Queen Vivian's seat." Vivian Zhou laughed when she saw me looking at the car. "I'm sorry, Sophia. But when things get old, they get thrown away. Don't you think? Look. Don't you think we look good in the headshots?" I laughed. "What's wrong with changing the upholstery? You should ask Ethan Kingsley to give you a new car." Vivian Zhou's face changed. I added, "But it's true. You might like the car I've been in. After all, you've picked up all the men I've used. What's one car? Right? You." Vivian Zhou bit her lip and looked at me with an ugly expression. I ignored her and looked away from Ethan Kingsley. Without waiting for me to speak, his complicated eyes fell on me. "Today is Vivian's promotion banquet. You will not go, right?" My heart was dull. A fine numb pain instantly spread to all the limbs and bones. Heh. I laughed to myself. I thought he came with guilt. And I thought he did. He was guilty. I turned on my heel and left without a word. "Mr. Johnson called me today." Ethan Kingsley managed to stop me in my tracks. "Mr. Johnson. My biggest client. The one I'd been drinking myself to death for a week before I'd gotten a hole in my stomach. When Ethan Kingsley found out I drank myself to death for a job, he was pissed. He was pissed that I had to get the job on my own instead of relying on him. He's the son of the Kwan family. He could have made me the #1 salesman in the company. But I've always refused. Because I always felt that he and I were two different individuals. If I had to rely on Ethan Kingsley's connections to get a job, then what was the difference between me and a canary? At that time, Ethan Kingsley couldn't do anything about it. He found a way to get in touch with Mr. Johnson and revealed his relationship with me. Intentionally or unintentionally. I was angry. I didn't think it was right. But after all the pussyfooting around, I softened up. Later, Ethan Kingsley did a few favors for Mr. Johnson, both intentional and unintentional. In time, they even became good friends. At the time, I was angry, but I felt that Ethan Kingsley had gone out of his way to make nice with a rich man for my sake. So in the end, I was touched. I didn't realize that what had done before was now the blade had stabbed me with. "Sophia." Mr. Johnson asked me when Head liked to drink our wedding wine. "Do you think I should tell him we've broken up?" I stuttered. I knew he was threatening me. If I don't go to Vivian Zhou's promotion party, he will turn my biggest client into Vivian Zhou's. He'll turn my biggest client into Vivian Zhou's. I looked toward the passenger side. As if sensing my gaze, Vivian Zhou put down her cell phone and hooked the corner of her mouth towards me. Heh. She didn't even have to get out of the car. Ethan Kingsley could have gotten her what she wanted. His favoritism has always been blatant. When he loved me, he wanted to bring the world to me. And when he didn't. But when he's not. He doesn't hesitate to crush my pride in the mud. At the promotion party, people kept pouring drinks on me. Some of them were even my juniors. Like Vivian Zhou. They all subconsciously avoided my gaze. Vivian Zhou saw the others put down their glasses and stood up herself. Sophia. Thanks for your care. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to establish myself in the company. And Ethan Kingsley. Vivian Zhou looked back at him shyly. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have had the chance to get to know each other. Thank you, Sophia. My hand under the table trembled. There was a vague pain coming from my stomach. I subconsciously touched my stomach. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well. The pain in my stomach was getting worse and worse. And there was even a hot current between my legs. So I wanted to go to the bathroom. But Ethan Kingsley suddenly said slowly. MS. Toki. Are you not giving face to my girlfriend? Who here doesn't know that Ethan Kingsley was my boyfriend? Now seeing him protecting his current girlfriend. Everyone's face is flashing with gossip. I shook my head as the pain hit me, even breaking out in a cold sweat. I hadn't finished speaking when Ethan Kingsley pulled out his phone and called. Mr. Johnson. It's me. Yeah. Let's get together. Ethan Kingsley put the phone away and waved it at me. The smart coworkers brought out 5 glasses and even poured white wine into each one. Come on, Sophia. Let's toast to our new director, Zhou. Seeing that I didn't say anything, my colleague pushed the glasses towards me. Come on, sis. After all, you're getting old and you're not doing much for the company. You don't want to be jealous of Director Zhou just because she got promoted at a young age. Do you? Ha 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 ha. As soon as she said that, there was an uproar. Drink up. Don't keep Director Zhou waiting. Vivian Zhou gave everyone an angry look. Don't be like this. If people see you, they'll think we're drinking Sophia's food. If people see you, they'll think we're drinking Sophia's wine. After saying that, she took Ethan Kingsley's arm and shook it. And said, Okay. I know you care about me. Sophia used to be a bit harsh on me. But that's all in the past. Now I'm finally getting my moment. Don't do this to Sophia. When Vivian Zhou's words fell, Ethan Kingsley, who was originally just looking at me carelessly, looked at me with a cold look in his eyes. He lifted his chin. Drink. There was not a single person present who said anything. Some people even took out their cell phones excitedly and secretly took pictures. I took a deep breath. I knew that if I didn't drink today, I was afraid that I would lose my job tomorrow. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. I closed my eyes and downed the glasses of white wine one by one. By the time I reached the last glass, I couldn't hold on any longer, and the glass slipped off the table and fell to the floor. The wine, naturally, also spilled out, and my head, at this time, also a sharp pain, as if someone holding a hammer, in a hard one by one, a sharp hammer general. In a trance, I seemed to see Ethan Kingsley snorted and rearranged 5 glasses on the table. The glasses, filled with white wine, were quickly filled. Repeat. Ethan Kingsley's coldness made everyone in the room look at each other. Only Vivian Zhou, with her chin held high and her eyes full of self-satisfaction. She looked at me as if I were a dog in the water. I suddenly laughed as I endured the excruciating pain. Fuck the man. Fuck the job. I took both glasses in both hands and flung them straight at Ethan Kingsley. Ah! What are you doing? Vivian Zhou was closest to Ethan Kingsley. Practically next to me. Next to you. So she had the misfortune of getting her chest wet. Ethan Kingsley. The thing I regret most in my life. Meeting you. In high school, his identity as a bastard was revealed and he had to stay away from the capital for a while. With yellow hair, he not only got into trouble, but also fell in love with others. It's my mom, his homeroom teacher. It took 2 years to get his life back on track. Not only did my mom help him with his homework, but he ate at my house. That's when he and I got to know each other so well. When we were together, he once said, my mom was like a second mom to him. The funny thing is, a few years after my mom left, now he's forgotten the anniversary of her death. Ethan Kingsley gave me a long look and nodded through clenched teeth. Okay. Okay. He pulls out his cell phone and dials a number. Mr. Johnson. Yes. It's me. Well, let's have a drink later and I'll introduce you to my girlfriend. Ethan Kingsley finished his call and then looked over at me. Sophia. I hope you're not begging me. After he had finished the call, he stood up, took Vivian Zhou's hand and smiled at the crowd. I'm sorry, but I have to go to another game. Enjoy your meal. I've already bought the check. The last breath that was holding me up suddenly seemed to fall away. The sky was spinning and I heard someone screaming. The moment I fell into darkness, I was still thinking, Sophia, you're such a loser. In the end, you have nothing left. In my dream, I was back in high school. Ethan Kingsley and I went to and from class together every day and ate from the same pot. Finally, the moment I agreed to be his girlfriend, he said, Sophia, I will never break up with you in my life. So, I know, his whole life. 8 years. But Ethan Kingsley, you know what? Failure to live up to the truth. Karma will come for those who break hearts. Tick-tock. The moment I opened my eyes, they were white. Sensing the weight between my legs, I looked down. Ethan Kingsley was asleep on the side of the bed, holding my hand, bearded and bearded. He woke up when I moved. You're awake? He subconsciously tried to touch my forehead, but I reflexively shied away. I reflexively avoided it. His hand lurched, but his warm hand still came up. But he immediately withdrew it, as if he was afraid of seeing my disgusted eyes. He avoided my gaze and said, It's okay. The fever has gone down. Strangely enough. Seeing the concern in Ethan Kingsley's eyes made me want to throw up. I thought of something, and my right hand suddenly touched my stomach. Ethan Kingsley's expression froze for a moment. And then he said softly, Sophia, I'm sorry about the baby. I closed my eyes. Ethan Kingsley, you deserve to die. Ethan Kingsley hardly left the hospital for a few days. He didn't just stay with me day in and day out. He didn't even look at his cell phone when it rang a million times. And I, of course, wasn't stupid enough to kick him out. After all, the nurse isn't as concerned as he is. The doctor said that I had a miscarriage this time, and that the damage to my body was very serious, and that I had to take good care of myself. One night, in a daze, I thought I heard an argument outside the ward door. I knew it was Vivian Zhou. I thought Ethan Kingsley had gone crazy when I couldn't reach him for so many days. Vivian Zhou's shrill voice came from outside the door. Is she that desperate for a man? You are my boyfriend now. She can sell them. What are you talking about? Snap. That's enough. Vivian Zhou. Watch your mouth. I smiled coldly and closed my eyes, ignoring the dogfight outside. At that moment, my cell phone rang. I heard you lost your child. I'm sorry for your loss. But how about we work together? I looked at my cell phone. Unfamiliar number sent a message. Cannot help but hooked up the corner of the lips. I can't help it. How about $1 billion? The other party only returned 2 words. Deal. I smiled and turned off my cell phone. I went to bed. When the doctor said it was time to leave the hospital, it was a week later. After being discharged from the hospital, Ethan Kingsley not only found a nanny to take care of me, but he even put down his company business and often stayed by my side. I didn't accept it, but I didn't resist it either. It was as if he didn't exist. Sometimes he tries to talk to me about our past, but I don't hear him. Ethan Kingsley, who was unresponsive to me, would sometimes look at me in disbelief. Yeah, for the last 8 years, he was all I had. Even when we had problems, I was always the first one to give in, because I thought we were in love. Why waste time with anger, cold wars, and even conflicts? But this time, after the baby is gone, I treat him like he's not there. I didn't argue. I didn't fight. I didn't act as if he didn't exist. Finally, a month later, when Ethan Kingsley was drunk, he broke down and hugged me and cried, "Sophia, can we make up?" You know, when I saw you passed out with blood on your legs, I almost thought I'd lost you forever. At that moment, I felt like the sky was spinning and I couldn't even breathe. Sophia, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. Can we make up? Well, get married. Well, have kids. Okay? I'm an asshole. I thought I didn't love you anymore. But at that moment I realized I was so wrong. I didn't stop loving you. But you've become a part of my life. Like a fish can't live without water. I can't live without you. Sophia. I listened to a man's cries of pain. Feeling his disgusting breath on my neck gave me goosebumps. I turned around and slapped him across the face. Get out. I said the first thing I'd said to him in a month. Ethan Kingsley moved out. I fired the nanny. To my surprise, the company sent me a message asking when I could come back to work. Sophia, there's always room for you at the firm. Your performance is very good, so it's only right to give you the director's position. As long as you come back, the director's position will be yours. I silently blackmailed my boss. Then I submitted my resignation. But as soon as I submitted my resignation letter, Vivian Zhou came to me in a rage. The door was banging loudly. Sophia, you bitch. Get your ass out here. You old woman. Who are you to steal my man? You little bitch. You come out here. Vivian Zhou slapped the door. And when I didn't respond, she switched to kicking. You bitch. Get out of here. You can't find a man in the whole world? I have used the man, you still pull back. Why did you let him break up with me? What are you talking about? Do you know how long I've been trying to get into that position? The company swept me off my feet today. Open the door. Vivian Zhou's breakdown was clearly captured by the camera at the door. I saved the video and sent it to Ethan Kingsley. Not long after, the commotion outside stopped. I could see Vivian Zhou stumbling away as Ethan Kingsley pulled her by the arm. I love making handmade leather goods. Belts, bags, even shoes. Soon after, I opened a luxury store. And Ethan Kingsley was definitely the biggest buyer. From multi-million-dollar handbags to tens of thousands of dollars in cell phone buttons and accessories. In less than 6 months, ID made a couple of small goals. Finally, one night after work, when I was molested by a punk, Ethan Kingsley came in and knocked him off. And I got a little bit of goodwill from him. He kept it up. He went out of his way to buy stuff from my store. After a year of this, I'd finally gotten over the pain of the past. I was willing to forgive Ethan Kingsley. He was ecstatic. And he held me in his arms. The video of Ethan Kingsley and I proposing to each other was captured on video and put on the internet. Everyone thought we were the golden couple. Especially since the proposal video featured Ethan Kingsley editing all the moments of our 8 years together. On our first date, I smiled shyly. The first time we took a picture together, he kissed me the moment he pressed the shutter. We went to the same college and were photographed in front of the school. Then there was the picture of us on our graduation day. And even the picture of us hitting up a popular restaurant together. Hundreds of photos. Hundreds of heartwarming moments. I came back from the bathroom and leaned on the bar. I watched Ethan Kingsley look at us in the video with red eyes. The look on his face was one of fulfillment. It was as if he hadn't cheated on me during the relationship. And I was always the one. I was always the one he wanted. After the wedding, Ethan Kingsley wanted to move back in. I refused. I sent your clothes to the new house. We're moving there when we get married anyway. So you'll have to put up with it. Besides, I'm going back to see my mom in a couple of days. And I'm not home. That's what convinced Ethan Kingsley. He stayed here to plan the wedding. I went back to the old town for 10 days or so. I came back the day before the wedding. I thought you were going to be a runaway bride. Ethan Kingsley was visibly relieved to see me. He was visibly relieved that the date had been set. But as the wedding date approached and I never came back, Ethan Kingsley became very nervous. He tried to pick me up several times. But I refused. Now that I was finally back, his heart was finally relieved. I smiled and didn't answer him. Soon it was time for the wedding. The moment I walked down the aisle toward Ethan Kingsley in my couture dress, I saw the glistening of tears in his eyes. All right. Let's witness this couple's love for each other. As soon as the master of ceremonies spoke, the lights dimmed. You're so bad. What's wrong with me? The man's voice became clearer and clearer in the darkness. You said you're getting married tomorrow. But today you're being mean to me in the new room. Aren't you mean? Heh. It's not like you haven't done it before. You're still pretentious? All the guests were dumbfounded by the sight and the intake of breath. I saw Ethan Kingsley turn his head sharply toward me, shaking his head frantically, his eyes filled with despair. Sophia, it's not like that. Let me explain. Turn it off. Turn it off. Come on. The woman screams. Turn it off. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. I told you not to shoot you. Snap. Holy shit. My cell phone. You pay for my cell phone. I told you to stop filming. Stop filming. Ethan Kingsley didn't even look at Vivian Jo. He took a cautious step toward me. Sophia. I took a step back and dropped my veil and bouquet on the floor. My cell phone rang with a text message about a money transfer. Receiving the money this moment. I then looked at him and said, I've said it before. In this life, my biggest regret is to meet you. I did not look back and left the scene.